You know how it is you're trying to stay informed about the latest in AI, and it feels like new models are popping up, like every single day, each promising to be a game changer. It can get overwhelming fast.
Uh,
So today on the deep dive, we're going to bring some clarity to the forefront. We're zeroing in on two major players right now, ChatGPT and the very recent release, Grok 3.
that's right. We've taken a close look at a detailed performance breakdown and a couple of those, firsthand test drives. And our goal today is pretty straightforward, to give you a clear understanding of what makes each of these AI powerhouses tick.
Right.
We want you to finish this discussion knowing their key strengths, where they really shine, and perhaps where their limitations might lie, depending on what you're trying to do.
Exactly. Think of this as us doing the heavy lifting for you. We're not going to bombard you with endless specs. We're pulling out the essential insights so you can figure out which of these tools could be the best fit for your needs. Whether you're looking to boost your creativity, solve a complex technical puzzle, or just stay right on the pulse of current information. And let's not forget, both of these are incredibly capable.
Oh, absolutely.
Grok 3 comes in with a staggering 2.7 trillion parameters. We'll explain what that really means in a bit, while ChatGPT is already so widely used. And its ability to connect with other tools through its plugin system is really remarkable. So buckle up, we're diving deep.
Okay, let's start by getting a handle on what each model is really designed for. At a high level, you can think of ChatGPT as being exceptionally good at, well, sparking creativity, generating all sorts of written content, and handling those general everyday questions or tasks you might throw its way.
Okay.
Now, Grok 3 appears to be focusing more on the technical side of things, showing particular strength in logical reasoning for technical subjects,
Right.
tackling complex science and math problems, what we often call STEM fields, and crucially, its ability to access and process real-time information.
That makes sense. So to put it in practical terms, if you need an AI to help you brainstorm new ideas, craft some engaging website copy, or even have more natural-sounding interactions with your customers, ChatGPT sounds like a strong contender.
Exactly.
But if your work involves analyzing scientific data, navigating intricate technical challenges, or absolutely requires the very latest information as it unfolds, then Grok 3 is definitely something you'll want to understand better.
Let's look under the hood a little at the technical capabilities.
Yeah.
Grok 3 really stands out with some impressive numbers. It boasts those 2.7 trillion parameters we mentioned. Think of parameters as the connections in the AI's neural network. More can allow for more complex understanding,
Right.
along with 12.8 trillion training tokens. Training tokens are essentially the units of text the AI has learned from, so a higher number generally indicates a broader base of knowledge. It also has a very large context window of 128,000 tokens.
128,000.
Yeah. Imagine this is the AI's short-term memory. A larger window allows it to remember and reference more of your conversation or the document you've given it.
Wow, those are some big numbers for Grok 3. How does ChatGPT compare on the inside?
Well, ChatGPT, built on the well-established GPT architecture, which is a specific type of neural network designed for language processing, and refined using a technique called reinforcement learning from human feedback, where human reviewers help train the AI to be more helpful and harmless. It doesn't publicly disclose its exact parameter count.
Oh, okay.
However, it's well known for the sheer variety and breadth of the data it was trained on, which gives it a strong general understanding across many topics.
It's fascinating to see that contrast in approach, Grok 3 being very open about its impressive scale, while ChatGPT emphasizes the diversity of its learning. And when you look at when they were last trained on new information, Grok 3's data goes up to February 2025, which is very recent.
Recent, yeah.
For ChatGPT's GPT-4 model, the last publicly stated knowledge cutoff was in 2023. Plus, Grok 3 was reportedly trained using an enormous amount of computing power, 200,000 GPUs, which are specialized processors really good at the complex calculations needed for AI.
What's particularly interesting is how these technical specifications translate into actual text processing abilities. Grok 3 has shown some remarkable results in very specific and challenging tests. For example, it scored 93% on the AME 25, which is a really tough math competition for high school students,
Wow.
and 85% on GPQA, which is a demanding benchmark focused on answering questions in graduate-level medical knowledge. They even highlighted its think mode, where it apparently spent a significant amount of time, around 52 seconds, deliberately reasoning through the classic trolley problem, which is often used to test ethical decision-making in AI.
That think mode sounds almost like you can see it working through the problem step by step.
Kind of, yeah.
ChatGPT, on the other hand, is really known for its strength in those more open-ended creative tasks and its ability to understand and respond to nuanced problems. It might not be about raw speed and a very specific type of reasoning, but more about a broader, more human-like understanding. It's also very good at keeping track of the conversation and maintaining context, even in longer exchanges.
And when we consider how these models stay up to date, that's another key difference. Grok 3 emphasizes a more continuous learning approach, with its training data being current right up to February of this year.
Right.
Its deep search mode allows it to actively search and analyze information from the web and, significantly, from posts on the social media platform X in real time. ChatGPT takes a different approach, relying on more periodic updates to its core model, and it uses its integration with Microsoft's Bing search engine to access more current information when needed.
So Grok 3 is really leaning into that immediate access to current data, which makes sense given its connection to X.
Exactly.
Reports also suggest that Grok 3 is about 25% faster in generating responses and demonstrates around 15% greater accuracy in understanding and responding to general natural language queries compared to other similar models. We even saw a quote from AI professor Ethan Malik, who said that Grok 3 met his expectations in terms of raw power, and he highlighted that this speed advantage, along with the massive computing power behind it, is really significant.
Yeah, that speed and compute power are definitely key differentiators. This leads us nicely into looking at the results of some more formal performance tests. The benchmark scores really highlight the different strengths we've been discussing. Grok 3 achieved that impressive 93.3% on the AME 2025 and 84.6% on the GPQA. It also scored 79.4% on Live Code Bench, which is a test that measures how well an AI can generate computer code. For comparison, ChatGPT's score on Live Code Bench was 72.9%.
Okay, so a noticeable difference there.
Definitely. Interestingly, they also found that Grok 3 was about 1.2 times faster when it came to generating code.
Those are some pretty notable differences in those specific technical areas. The report even mentioned that software developers using Grok 3 for code analysis experienced around a 30% improvement in their workflow efficiency. That's a tangible, real-world benefit.
Exactly. Looking more closely at that code generation performance, Grok 3 had an average response time of just zero point 0.8 seconds, and it was reported to be about 15% more effective at tackling and resolving complex programming challenges.
0.8 seconds, that's quick.
Very quick. That think mode we talked about seems to be particularly valuable for these more in-depth analytical tasks, although it might take a little longer to produce the answer because it's doing that step-by-step reasoning,
Right, trading a bit of speed for depth.
Precisely. And as we mentioned, while ChatGPT is excellent for those broader, creative, and general tasks, Grok 3's deep search function really positions it as a stronger tool when analyzing very current data is critical, making it particularly useful for researchers and engineers who need the latest information.
Okay, so it's becoming clearer. ChatGPT for that wider range of applications and creative work, and Grok 3 really flexing its muscles in the technical and data-intensive domains, especially where up-to-the-minute information is key. Now, what about any extra features or special capabilities that set them apart?
This is where their approaches to extending functionality differ quite a bit. ChatGPT has a very well-established plugin system, and this is a really significant feature because it allows ChatGPT to connect and interact with a huge number of external tools and services.
Yeah, the plugins.
Dale E3 for generating images from text is a great example of a powerful tool that integrates through a plugin. ChatGPT also offers search mode for browsing the web and conducting research, and reason mode for more structured step-by-step problem solving.
That plugin system has really been a game changer for ChatGPT, hasn't it? It's like it can adapt to so many different tasks by bringing in these specialized tools.
Absolutely. Grok 3, on the other hand, has its own set of special features that seem more geared towards those technical and data-focused applications we've been discussing. We've already talked about Think mode, but it also has Big Brain mode, which essentially dedicates more computational resources to handle really complex analytical problems.
Okay, big brain mode.
And then there's Deep Search, which goes beyond just general web searching. Because of its connection to X, it can analyze real-time conversations and trends on that platform, as well as delve into user profiles, individual posts, and even different types of files that might be shared there, like PDFs and images.
That tight integration with X is definitely a unique aspect of Grok 3, given its origins. It sounds like it could be an incredibly valuable tool for anyone who needs to monitor and analyze what's happening right now on that platform.
For sure. And when we think about how these platforms can be integrated into existing workflows and business systems, ChatGPT has a more mature and extensive plugin ecosystem and also offers its enterprise plan, which provides more robust integration capabilities for larger organizations.
Right.
However, Grok AI seems to be focusing on more direct integrations with specific business software. They've highlighted potential integrations with popular customer relationship management, CRM systems like Salesforce and HubSpot, enterprise resource planning, ERP solutions like SAP and Oracle, financial software like QuickBooks, and even development tools like Visual Studio Code.
So ChatGPT has that broader, more open approach with its plugin marketplace, while Grok AI appears to be taking a more targeted approach, focusing on key enterprise software, especially with that direct link to VS Code for developers.
Seems that way. Let's switch gears now and talk about the more practical aspects. How easy are they to use, and what do they cost? When it comes to the user interface, ChatGPT is generally praised for its clean, straightforward, and very intuitive design.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It's been noted for having a very low barrier to entry, which undoubtedly contributed to its rapid adoption by a wide range of users.
Yeah, that initial simplicity and ease of use were definitely major factors in ChatGPT's popularity. It felt very accessible right from the start.
Grok 3, with its three distinct modes, Think, Big Brain, and Deep Search, offers users more specific control over how they interact with the AI, depending on the type of task they're undertaking. However, this added level of control might also mean there's a slightly steeper learning curve as users figure out when and how to best leverage each of these modes.
That makes sense. More specialized tools often require a bit more understanding to use effectively. Now let's talk about the all-important question of price.
This is another area where they differ quite a bit. ChatGPT offers a free tier, which is a significant advantage in terms of accessibility.
Huge advantage.
Its paid subscription plans start with ChatGPT Plus at $20 per month, then go to Pro at $200 per month. And they also have team and enterprise options designed for business use. Grok 3, based on the information we have, doesn't offer a free tier.
A free option, okay.
Its primary access is through either the Super Grok subscription, which costs $30 per month, or the X Premium Plus subscription, which is $40 per month. We didn't find details on a specific enterprise-level plan for Grok 3 in the sources we looked at.
So if cost is a major factor, especially for individual users or smaller teams, ChatGPT's free option and its lower price paid tiers could be more appealing. Grok 3 seems to be positioning itself as a more premium service, likely targeting users who needed specific high-performance capabilities and real-time data access.
That seems to be the case. And in terms of how you actually access these models, ChatGPT has a very wide reach with its web interface, dedicated mobile apps for both iOS and Android, and a robust application programming interface, or API, which allows developers to integrate ChatGPT's capabilities into their own applications and services.
Right, the API is key for developers.
Especially true with their enterprise and team plans.
Yeah.
Grok 3's access is currently more tied to the X platform through those Premium Plus and Super Grok subscriptions, although they have announced plans to offer API access in the future, which will broaden its reach significantly.
So right now, if you're already heavily engaged with the X platform, Grok 3's access might feel quite natural, whereas ChatGPT offers more immediate flexibility across different platforms and through its API.
Pretty much. Now, let's synthesize everything we've discussed and offer a final analysis. The key distinctions really come down to this. ChatGPT excels in those creative and content-focused tasks, thanks in part to its Dial E3 integration for visuals and its broad accessibility. Grok 3's real where it consistently demonstrates higher scores on demanding benchmarks.
Right. So if you're a professional in a science, technology, engineering, or math field who needs strong technical reasoning and access to real-time data, and that impressive live code bench score of nearly 80% really stands out for coding tasks, Grok 3 looks like a very compelling option.
Definitely.
On the other hand, if you're a content creator who needs versatile text generation and those integrated DALL-E 3 visuals, or a business user looking for cost-effective ways to automate tasks through its APIs, ChatGPT appears to be the stronger choice. And for data analysts who need to dive into the very latest conversations and trends on X, Grok 3's deep search feature is a significant advantage.
We even saw examples of how businesses are using ChatGPT's API to achieve substantial cost savings in areas like automating customer support interactions.
Right, real cost savings.
And as we've emphasized, Grok 3's strengths in research and real-time data analysis make it particularly well suited for those kinds of applications. It's also worth noting that Andrej Karpathy, a very well-respected figure in the AI field, has favorably compared Grok 3 to some of OpenAI's most powerful models.
Oh, really?
Yeah, even suggesting it outperforms DeepSeek R1 and Gemini 2.0 flash thinking in certain areas, that's a strong endorsement.
That kind of comparison from someone with Karpathy's deep understanding really highlights Grok 3's potential and capabilities. So, for businesses trying to make a decision between these two, what are the crucial factors they should be considering?
It really boils down to a few key evaluation points. Their existing technology infrastructure and the potential costs and effort involved in integrating the APIs, how well each model aligns with their specific use cases, are they more focused on technical problem solving or creative content generation? And of course, their budget and the expected return on investment for their particular applications.
So, to bring it all together, it's clear that we have two incredibly powerful AI models, each with its own distinct set of strengths. ChatGPT offers that broad versatility and is kind of a go-to for creative endeavors,
Right.
while Grok 3 excels in those specialized technical domains and when access to real-time information is paramount.
And as we've underscored, the best choice isn't a one-size-fits-all answer. It really hinges on your individual needs, your specific tasks, and your overall priorities.
This has been a really insightful deep dive, and it makes you think, with these rapid advancements and the increasing specialization we're seeing in AI models, how might this trend of more focused AI impact the way we work and our personal productivity in the future?
Good question.
It's definitely something worth considering, thinking about your own typical workflows and the kinds of tasks you handle most frequently as you evaluate these increasingly sophisticated technologies.
Absolutely. We encourage you to explore the specific features and pricing details of each platform based on what you've learned today and your own particular requirements. And given how quickly this field is evolving, staying informed about the ongoing developments will be key.